Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes.
It's time for the Pinstripe Report, brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. Yankees lost today to Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. So they are, let's see, they're 3-2.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, they're 3-2.
Oh.
There's a lot of stories out there.
Yeah, sure.
That the Yankees and Snell's people are talking.
It's a joke!
It's not a joke, but in fact, I believe they are. But that would be like, Peter and I don't really talk on the phone much. We'll text a lot. Mm-hmm. But if I called Peter and he said, "What's up?"
Yeah.
And you could say, well, no, they're talking. Well, I actually called him, so he's a human being. He picked up the phone. So Snell's agent is Scott Boras. If he calls the Yankees, Brian Cashman's going to pick up.
Hello?
Yeah, that's what he's going to say. Hey, Scott, what's up?
Oh, hey.
And then it's being reported that they're talking. They're not talking. I think there's such a small chance, not saying it's zero, but I'd say it's pretty close to zero, that the Yankees are going to sign Blake Snell. I just believe that that's not going to happen. I think if the Yankees are going to add a starting pitcher, it's going to be a trade, probably closer to the trade deadline when they see what they have and what the pitchers that they have are able to do. If Rodon is actually the pitcher that he was with the Giants, or if he's the pitcher that he was the year before at the White Sox, they don't need to add anybody. They've got depth. They've got Weaver. They've got Poteet. They've got guys that can throw. Luis Heel.
But what if he's not then?
Well, then you've got to reconsider, but you're not going to know that until later. And I'll tell you what I said earlier. This will surprise me. The Yankees have the second highest payroll in baseball after the Dodgers. The Mets are third. And the Mets' payroll is kind of misleading because so much of their payroll is pitching for other teams. That's how they got Luis Angel, right, Acuna, and all those young players. Every dollar the Yankees spend from here on in costs them $2.30. They're at 110% tax level. So if you are going to get Blake Snell, coming off a Cy Young year, you're going to give him $30 million, which means it will cost the Yankees about $63 million. Is he worth to the Yankees $63 million for this upcoming season? Now, the Yankees allegedly made an offer to him early. He turned it down. I'm sure right now he's wishing he didn't. And once they did that, and they got turned down, they pivoted and they signed Marcus Stroman for $18.5. Not like they didn't try, but once they got Stroman, well, they're adding all that money toward the tax again. So Blake Snell becomes almost an exorbitant expenditure. And since he was offered the qualifying offer by the Padres, you're going to lose draft picks too. I'm telling you, I'm not saying that they're not. I'd be shocked if they did, and I'm not sure it's worth $63 million. I'm just not. Let's see what you have. Not. You could pivot. You've got a pretty deep farm system. Trade somebody and get yourself a pitcher. Maybe it's Dylan Cease. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, they can make a trade at the deadline, as you said. Let's see how this pans out. But, you know, as you said many times, Michael, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But because they're talking, because Brian Cashman would be fined if he said I wasn't interested, that's going to drum up a lot of conversation about it happening. And it behooves Boras to get the attention that, hey, the Yankees might be involved here. Get somebody else to make an offer.
I mean, I wonder what Scott's thinking. Chapman still unsigned. Montgomery still unsigned. J.D. Martinez still unsigned. Blake Snell still unsigned. Remember what I said a couple of weeks ago? Once you get 2 weeks into spring training, you're impacting whether or not they'll be ready for the opener. if you sign Snell today, at this moment, it's going to take him 2 days to get to whatever spring training site. He's not making the opening day roster unless you want a 4-inning pitcher. And to be honest, coming off the year that he had, Bellinger didn't get a great deal from the Cubs. I think it's a great deal for the Cubs.
Yeah, well,
$80 million for 3 years. Great. They were looking for so much more than that. I wonder what Scott's thinking now. What is he going to do with Snell? Because Snell is attached to a draft pick, too, because he was offered the qualifying offer. Montgomery's not, because he was traded in the middle of the season, and you can't do that to somebody traded in the middle of the season. Snell wasn't. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with these players. I think of those players, I think J.D. Martinez probably signs first, because it's only going to be a one-year deal anyway.
Right. I still think the Mets can maybe do that, but since it's only a one-year deal.
But they're also at the 110% mark. So let's say they sign him for $20 million. That's $40 million.
All right, but again, it's 1 year, so it doesn't hurt going into the free agent market for the following year. I think that's where they're concerned.
Well, that's the Pinstripe Report, brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. For a pain-free life, visit SamwellPain.com today. Scott in Chicago. Scott.
Hey, Don, Michael, Peter, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just want to continue along with the Yankee talk. I'm very excited about going into this season. I think Steinbrenner and Cashman did a great job of organizing a good lineup. I'm a little concerned. A lot of people are talking about the starting rotation. I'm a little concerned with the bullpen with the loss of Peralta and King. I want to hear where you're more confident in the starting rotation right now or the bullpen.
I don't worry about the bullpen with the Yankees because somehow, some way, they piecemeal it together. Last year, they had the best bullpen ERA in baseball. A lot of people that you never heard of. Ian Hamilton steps up. They're going to get reinforcements when Efros comes back from the back surgery. They're going to get reinforcements from Trevino when he comes back from the Tommy John surgery. So they're going to add those two arms about midseason. I'm not worried the least bit about their bullpen. The least bit. Because I don't know how they do it, but they always turn up something. They always turn up something. JJ in New Jersey. JJ.
Michael, Don, Pete, what's going on, guys? How y'all living?
All good. How about you?
Doing well, sir. The purpose of my call was, Mike, I had to give a comment, a shout-out to Mike Breen last night, man. And I got a timestamp for you at a minute and 30. That there was a play there that Mike got so excited it kind of matched my enthusiasm when I was watching the game. I mean, I wanted to yell at expletives and stuff like that, but I was saying things like, that's why your mom, got back here. That's why you're as useless as a white crayon. I was saying all types of things. I was loving it last night. So do me a favor, tell your friend he's doing the thing, man. I loved it. You guys have a great day. Take care.
Thanks, man.
Hall of Famers do.
I didn't fully understand what he was talking about.
What was the thing with white?
He got so hyped up about white clams and back hair, I was confused. But apparently he loved Breen, so it's a good take.
Well, I mean, that's a great take, because Breen's the best. You don't like Breen as much as I do you?
I like Breen as much as a normal person who truly enjoys someone else's skills and company can enjoy them.
Right.
I'm not you who, every time his name comes up, goes down on all fours, which it seems like you do, by the way, for everybody.
What is he implying?
I don't know.
Which is, by the way, sorry, maybe you get the idea.
A little strong.
Which
Did that make the air?
I didn't mean it like that, you sicko. But
I don't know.
What other ways?
Kissing the shoes. I don't know. I don't know what you're just thinking. You know what I mean? Hands and knees.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
Yeah, I know
Move
exactly.
on.
Like kissing their feet.
Oh, that's what I didn't. Yeah, okay.
I don't understand who
He's my friend. I don't care about what he does professionally.
Don, do you ever find it odd though that everybody who's not named us, particularly me, because even you get it sometimes, when they're talked about, he just heaps praise
How do you
on
know
them being
what,
great.
when I talk about you guys off the air?
Well, you know what? Why would you not want to say it to my face? You know what I mean?
Well, I've said I think that you're an extraordinary broadcaster.
You said it like one time when you stumbled on the
What do you want me to get it down on my hands and knees or what?
No, the one thing I did backstage at the Royal Rumble, you were like, oh, that was really good. In general, you think I'm a talentless hack.
No.
But when we talk about Mike Breen
How do I talk about Don doing play-by-play? How do I talk?
Glowingly.
Glowingly. When I find out exactly what your skill set is, I'll compliment
But again, you won't even. So you think Mike is the greatest who's ever lived?
They went to school together. They
I
grew
know
up
40
together.
years, you lunatic.
Yeah, but we've been friends for 8, and you just
40 years to 8.
But okay, so that means it has to be 0. I mean, am I a nobody? You won't even turn on my... Hold on, Don, you're making a face like I might not be right. You know I'm going to end up right. So don't even fight against me. You won't even turn on my show to hear if I'm skilled. Yet Mike Breen, who's a literal Hall of Famer, we have to compliment him every day. He's the voice of ESPN basketball.
What does this tell you?
He doesn't like me or respect me.
I think that's on the table.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
You have to respond to this. Or are you happy with that allegation?
Respect.
But no, you can't.
I do.
No, you can't.
But there's a significant gap. Now the question is, should there be that big a gap?
No, of course there should be.
A gap.
The only way that Peter's getting to Springfield is to drive there. Mike is in the Hall of Fame.
But I don't call basketball.
But could Peter over time end up in the WWE Hall of Fame or the Wrestling Hall of Fame?
I want to end up in the radio broadcast, the Radio Hall of Fame.
45's in the WWE Hall of Fame, right?
That's right.
No, but there could be a Hall of Fame in Peter's future.
Yeah, the radio. I mean, I would hope that I'm 44 years old. I've been doing afternoon driving, morning driving. Yeah, but that's fine that you're not in there.
So
but
you think I'm a hack?
I don't think you're a hack. I think that...
Don and I, by the way, have the longest-running show in New York.
Yeah, and I think you'll probably end up there one day.
No.
But I think that what I've done...
I will not accept it posthumously.
Why would you be dead?
I don't really have any say.
And by the way... I'll
tell my family to say you can just stick that award.
But by the way, you're a young man. I didn't say it would be posthumous. But what I'm saying is... Just because I'm not going to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, that means I can't have a Hall of Fame broadcast career?
Oh, you could, but you know Mike Breen.
But you don't even know what I do. That's the unfortunate part. You don't even know what I do.
I see what you do on this show.
He tolerates you here, and then once you walk out the door, he has no knowledge or care what you do.
And yet when we bring up Mike Breen, who everyone knows is one of the best basketball broadcasters on earth, you know how I know it, Don? Because he's the #1 broadcaster on the number one place to watch basketball. You don't have to say it, but we play a clip. Oh my God! Did you hear what Mike Breen did on the game? Mike Breen wouldn't remember last night in 2 years that you paid. It's just every day to him. It would be like pointing out. Did you see what Peter when he walked bare last night? One of the great walks of all time. I mean, you won't believe how Peter walked bare. That's what yesterday was.
Can I ask
for
you
Mike
a question?
Breen.
Why are you so needy?
It's so
But when
loud.
you will never be in the spectrum of Mike Breen with me. Ever.
I don't want to be in the spectrum of Mike Breen. But my point is, you have to call out his talent every day. And when earlier today we just said, have you ever turned on my morning show? You just go, no, I'm good.
Right.
But that's mean. You have to know.
It is a little mean that you weren't even just curious to see.
You
what
have
it
to
sounds
know
like.
that makes you sound like a bad guy.
But you say I'm a bad guy.
And you know also, Don, we also know for a fact because listeners tell us. I used to listen to Peter on Hot 97. He brought me over to the K Show.
Well, let's listen to Toro in Brooklyn. Toro, do you listen to Peter's morning show?
No, I don't. Hello, boys. How you guys doing?
What does that have to do with anything?
Toro's in the same mindset as me.
And I'm a hip-hop guy, born in Brooklyn, born and raised. It's just not for everybody. Not everybody listens. I don't even listen to Hot 97 not anymore. I'm not into today's music. It's the same way.
They don't play music on the morning show.
I barely play music. It's a talk show.
Do you like him on the K Show?
Yeah, I like him on the K Show.
So why wouldn't you even try someplace else?
You've never thought... I mean, I hope every day you listen to Rick and Dave in the morning, but if you're not listening to that, you don't go, let me hear what Rosenberg and the other guys are talking about.
But you know how disconcerting it is, that especially the time that Michael and I spend in the car, that you're not once in the 8 years you've been working with him, you say, let me flip over to Hot just to see what it sounds like, what they're talking about.
I think I did once. This is quick.
You think you did once?
I listened once. I said, this is not for me. What you guys are talking about, not for me.
This is not, but you've heard the show. We talk
about a lot about hip-hop stuff, right?
I one time
not really.
drove,
I mean, yes and no.
And people from here would know. There's an IHOP, I believe it's in Ramsey, New Jersey, on Route 17 North. To Hawthorne, New Jersey, where my mom lives. The entire 20-minute drive, listening to Peter's show with my mom in the car.
Well, you want a medal?
No, but he's saying it wasn't hip-hop. There wasn't any songs
No,
playing.
because my mom was curious.
Because your mom.
But you, listen, can I ask? Let me take a 20. Let me take a 20. My eating habits would tell you I'm not curious, right?
Right.
I'm not curious about anything.
Yeah, but it's
But it's not like you're doing.
I'm
But it's not like you're
I'm
doing
good.
a radio show with a banana for 8 years.
But you know
okay?
what? Peter and I
Point
have talked glowingly about this documentary called The Dynasty. I'm good. That's what you said.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with you.
If you were in it,
I was in it
for 3
And
seconds.
I also saw it on social media.
So he's already
Peter
seen
and
your
I have
clip.
told you about 2 of the greatest shows in the history of television.
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
And I'm sorry. This documentary, I'm sure, is not going to be at the level of Breaking Bad or Better Call
It might be
Saul.
ahead of that level.
No shot. Zero shot.
Dom, why don't you tell us about Mazda?
In 2024, you get more.
Washington, Lincoln.